How you doing, guys? ZDEyE here. Today we're going to be going through a bit of a podcast, maybe a bit of a dual commentary. Even though I say bit of, it's going to be a big one. But yes, today, of course, we have a special guest for tonight. Perhaps you could introduce yourself, Menziah?
Hello, my name is Menziah. I am a video game commentator, and thank you for having me.
Cool. Menziah was actually here since, what was it, third commentary together, right? Something like that?
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. Last time we did this was like almost a year ago, right? It's a long time coming. We had so many instances of delays. We just wanted to go through these events first so we could share our thoughts and opinions. And that's what we decided to go on. And since the PlayStation 5 event has wrapped up, and man, it was a big one, we definitely want to share our thoughts about that too. So, perhaps no more further delay, so to say.
This commentary, this podcast has had a lot of delays, folks. It's had a lot of delays.
Indeed. All right. Well, let's just talk about, firstly, of course, the very recent news regarding the event, right? The PlayStation 5. So the first things first that we have seen, it was actually a very weird moment as well, right? You gotta admit, Grand Theft Auto 5. What? And you know what made it even worse in some cases? If a lot of people, and myself included, we all thought it was some kind of an ad. And then the trailer was a PlayStation 4 trailer. So what? Why would they do that? You know, the kind of questions this in your mind. And anyway, until we found out that it's pretty much getting an upgrade version for the PlayStation 5 in 2021. On top of that, there were extra, like PlayStation Plus, that the game's going to be free. Well, the online component of the Grand Theft Auto 5 as well in 2021, I believe it was. What do you think about that anyway?
I'm not surprised that they're going to be remastering it for next-gen consoles. It is still a very big game. It's been going on strong, getting constant updates. I kind of knew Rockstar would bring their money house to the next-gen consoles. But yeah, it's good to see that.
Absolutely, yeah. It actually was somewhat inevitable, because like Grand Theft Auto 5 came out first on the PlayStation 3, pretty much got a remaster coming out on PlayStation 4, and now pretty much getting a remaster again by coming out on PlayStation 5. My God. Of course they're gonna milk this shit dry. They're gonna milk this. But the fact is, it's gonna get a lot of sales. It's gonna get a lot of revenue for sure. And I thought it was gonna be like a release or something. Maybe we finally will be able to find out with the Grand Theft Auto 6. But god damn it was just Grand Theft Auto 5. But don't get me wrong, still I'm excited for the Grand Theft Auto 5 anyway. I definitely want to replay it. It is one of my favorite games. But come on, enough is enough sometimes, isn't it? Like for example, Skyrim. Oh my god. Special edition Skyrim coming out on PlayStation 3 and then PlayStation 4 was a special edition PC. Just getting a re-release after re-release. Insane.
Yep.
Alright. Well, after that, we're getting into very first and very surprising game review. And we're of course talking about Spider-Man. Miles Morales. What do you think about that one?
I was very surprised we actually got a reveal this soon. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with the story, because we all know Spider-Man PS4 is fantastic, and it's good to see that they're still in bringing more new stories to the brand of Spider-Man, and I can't wait to play as Miles Morales, man. I think it's going to be very good, and I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, it's also been confirmed that it's not actually a sequel, but it is actually a remaster. But also, Miles Morales will be an expansion towards the Spider-Man. We already did see this coming, that Miles Morales will be a protagonist instead of Peter Parker. And because of the DLCs, if you have played them, I played all of them, and it was a ton of fun, to be honest. Like, even though it isn't exactly in the same volume or quality-wise from the, vanilla of the game. But still, if you want Spider-Man, get the DLCs. They are definitely worth it, in my opinion, of course. Did you play the DLCs, by the way?
Yep, bought all the DLCs. Yep.
And I assume you got the season pass, right? Like whatever it's called, like a complete additional, comes with all the DLCs more or less.
Yeah,
that's what I got as well. Definitely, I'm gonna be looking forward to see like Miles. Like Miles, because his powers is like he has a chakra on his hands and stuff, like his abilities, and he can go invisible too. If you are aware of the Miles and his powers, like he's a little bit. He has more than Peter himself, because Peter he utilizes mainly on his gadgets. Miles not so often, but we will have to wait and see how Insomnia Games would like to go with this route. And it's gonna be exciting, man. I cannot wait to get back into the swing of things. See what I did there?
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Definitely. Even though it's somewhat cringy too. And yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, but still, it's gonna be interesting. I cannot wait to get on my hands on this game again. We always need more Spider-Man in our lives. But man, how many more years do you think we will need to wait for the proper sequel for the Spider-Man? What do you think?
I don't think it's going to be very long, to be honest. I really don't. Sony saw how much it sold. The reviews were pretty much all positive. I feel Sony are really going to try and do their best to milk the franchise. And if they're going to do that, I will be very happy, because I love Spider-Man. In fact, I used to play the old Spider-Man games when I was a kid on the PlayStation 2 and 3, and to see we're getting some more, it's fantastic news, man. Fantastic.
Absolutely. If we also follow through with how the stream, or I should say the event went, right? The next game was actually, I believe it was Gran Turismo 7, a racing simulator, so to say. Okay, I'll be upfront and honest, I'm not really interested in sport games, racing games, fighting games, nor football games or wherever, right? I lost complete interest in them. There's never really any like innovation or creativity any longer. It's just same old.
Yep, I completely agree, and I feel the same way, but I feel like sports games or racing games in particular is for more of a niche audience than like the mainstream audience that buys big AAA games. I know a few people who just play like FIFA or Gran Turismo. It's more for people who like love cars, like people who just love cars and always want to feel what it would be like to like drive a sports car. I think that's for them. But I'm not interested in Gran Turismo or racing games myself either. But yeah, it's good to see that franchise is still going, because if you think about it, with this generation, we've actually lost some driving game brands like Drive Club, and there was another one that I forgot. There was another one, but Drive Club got shut down, I think, or that stopped.
It did.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily shut down, but yeah, the server's pretty much shut down.
Yeah. So to see that Gran Turismo and like the Xbox's version, what was it called? Horizon something?
Oh, Forza Motorsport, I think
that's
it was
it.
called.
Forza. Right? Forza. Yeah, it was Forza Horizon I was thinking of. But yeah, Forza. Like, even that's still going. So yeah, it's good to see that we still have some racing cars. But I think it's the fan base who plays racing games is still buying those two brands in particular the most. But yeah, it's just so many of these racing games, like I even got mixed up already. Look, Forza Motorsport. Yeah, same. Exactly. When I thought of Horizon, I was thinking of a particular Forza game. But yeah,
that's right. Well, I guess we just wrapped up with the racing topic. Let's talk a little bit about the next game that was pretty much announced, even showcased with its gameplay. Fantastic looking, by the way. Yes, I'm obviously talking about Ratchet and Clank. Rift Apart. Is that how to say it? Rifts Apart or something like that? But yeah, this looked fantastic. Even though I'm not too sure, maybe it was just a stream. But I did notice, and I'm worried now, I did notice some hiccups in the FPS. What was that all about? Maybe it was because the particle effects and the stuff, the effects in general was so much going on in the game, and clearly there was a lot. Don't get me wrong, it looked good, but also it kind of sucks because I'm kind of a little bit worried. But still, we're ways off until that's going to be coming. We don't even know when it's coming out. There was no announcement, at least. Maybe, not during the event. Oh, of course, the announcement. I totally forgot that Spider-Man Miles Morales is coming this year, holiday. I was shocked to see that. Now, regarding Ratchet and Clank, well, there's no date yet, at least not yet. But still, there's plenty of time until it does come out, and when it does come out, I'm sure it's going to be a lot more, polished up and with the FPS, and so I don't think there should be any issues, or should we be even worried about it? You know what I mean?
I'm glad that they're taking time with Ratchet and Clank, because I actually had a family member. He doesn't work there anymore, but he worked on Ratchet and Clank years ago, and he told me that when Ratchet and Clank first came out, they were dropping a Ratchet and Clank game every year. It was a very long time ago. I think it was like 10 plus years ago, where they were just constantly pushing it out because it sold so well. And he ended up leaving the company. But it's good to see that they're taking their time with Ratchet and Clank now, instead of just pumping a new one every year. And Ratchet and Clank has always been a beloved PlayStation brand. Even with adults, they still love Ratchet and Clank. So it's good to see the franchise is still going. We've got more stories coming, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table with this one, really.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's a little bit of an interesting one, and definitely wanted to touch on at least, because you kind of, when you were talking about that the Ratchet and Clank was before, like plus 10 years ago or so, it was coming out yearly and stuff like that, you kind of reminded me about Call of Duty. Yeah. I actually was surprised the way there has been nothing regarding Call of Duty in this event. Maybe they would have been showcasing some, capabilities and the quality-wise, FPS, blah, blah, blah. You know how it's like. You know how Activision likes to go about these things. Yeah. And, of course, we already know about the development hell that they're literally going through with this Call of Duty that, codenamed, I shouldn't say it's codenamed, believed to be named Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And then there was some rumors and leaks going out. It's just simply will be called Call of Duty Black Ops. It's weird. I don't know, it does not make much sense. I don't believe the game is going to be any good, at least not this year especially. We will have to wait and see. There's been some leaks going on regarding it, the gameplay even, in the surface on Twitter. I've seen it, looks very bare bones, but it is like a pre-alpha footage or whatever it was.
Yeah, my friend told me about that, and you can download it for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know.
I'm not sure if he was talking shit or not, but he told me you can download it on a website because it was for game testers, and you can play it by downloading it on like a dongle, putting it on your PS4, but you can't play it online or you'll get banned, apparently. That's what he said. I don't know if that's actually legitimate or not, but I feel with Call of Duty, I think it needs to go back to basics. Like, I'm sick and tired of going back and forward in time. I would just be content with what Modern Warfare did, even though I stopped playing that. It's just back to basics. None of this fancy crap, just gameplay and PvP. That's what I liked about the recent Call of Duty that just came out. But with Black Ops, it's like, how many more Black Ops do we need? It's one of them ones Black. What was the last one? Black Ops 5 or 4?
4. Black Ops 4, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can let the Black Ops name go now and make another Call of Duty. It's it's not going to make much of a difference anyway. But it's
indeed,
you could just leave that storyline alone now, in my opinion. But yeah,
it's just that the thing is, if the name Black Ops is there, a lot more people will end up buying it just for the name alone. That's why they do it. That's kind of it's understandable as well, but yet it doesn't necessarily mean the game's going to be good because just because of the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's already been proven by Modern Warfare,
Yep, 100% there too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we do continue, the next game, I kind of got me interested at least, is the... it doesn't even have a name, that's the weird part. It's just a Project Athia, or Athia, depends how you pronounce it. It's a Square Enix, I believe it's been published by, and it's time exclusive for the PlayStation 5. It seems interesting, but I'm worried that it's just that it was simply a cinematic, nothing to do with the gameplay, even though it...
Yeah.
Even though it did kind of represents a bit of a gameplay-wise, but again, it's possible it might not be. Like, did you notice anything interesting about it? Like Project Athia, like did it at least piqued interest in you, or you don't really care about it?
No, not really. No, I didn't pique much of any interest, but I'm willing to see more. I feel that's what I need to do, is see a bit more and see some gameplay. Yeah,
there's a lot of these games in here. You just like, oh man, I need to see proper raw, unedited sort of a gameplay in a lot of cases, and makes things easier for you to understand. And if you want to buy the game, or at least if you want to pick it up.
100%.
There was another game, an interesting one, I should say. Returnal. It's the one with the
woman in space who drops on the planet.
That's right, with the 2 different colored eyes. So specific, and with the loop that she dies and then comes back and learns and stuff also. Anyway, yeah, that looked intriguing, maybe?
Yeah. At first, when I was seeing it, I thought it was another Alien game.
Oh, it does have that vibe. It has that vibe, yeah, I agree.
First, I thought I was looking at, oh shit, are they going to reveal an Alien game? But it wasn't. But it still intrigued me still with the concept that it's bringing. So I didn't leave disappointed with that one. But yeah, seeing that was pretty interesting in my opinion, and can't wait to see more on that. Yeah. Exactly.
It's just a kind of... It has a vibe of every other PlayStation exclusive game, but it's very underdeveloped. Obviously, we will have to wait a little bit longer until it does release. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot more polished up in a lot of ways. I'm just curious to see the gameplay again. Same thing, right? Like any other games out there, like we will all want to see. Personally, again, for me, I want to see raw gameplay and unedited, of course, and see how good is it really. But yeah, I'm definitely keen on it. Now, this one we're going to be skipping, through some of the games that are, at least not to me, they're not that interesting. Perhaps even to you as well, Menziah, right?
Yeah.
Right. So the next game at least seemed kind of interesting, but also was kind of disappointing, in my opinion. I'm talking about Ghostwire Tokyo. First time it was actually presented was at the Bethesda's E3, and it just showed off the cinematic. Obviously, it does not necessarily giving us a glimpse of the gameplay, but here it somewhat did. And yet, I'm just disappointed. It seems so bare bones. All you do really is utilize those weird looking abilities and powers, and all you do is like kill, and kill. Now, that's not to say it's a bad thing, but it didn't quite intrigue me. It's also because I perhaps need to see more gameplay.
Yeah. I feel the same way as well. I feel when I saw it, I was like, bro, this looks like a futuristic Bioshock with all the first person abilities and that.
Yeah.
But to me, I think there wasn't anything really that stood out to me. To me, it seems like it's going to be a pseudo-science type of horror game. And to me, there's very few horror games that I'll play because I'm not really all that interested in. But I think I definitely need to see more to see if my judgment changes. But as of right now, it didn't stick with me.
Yeah, same here. And if you did not know as well, it's actually will be time exclusive on the PlayStation 5. So again, I assume that we will need, now it's not like we will need to, but the rest of the people and players need to actually wait like maybe a year until they finally get their hands on this game, Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, it seems like you and I are somewhat interested in this game, the next game, and I'm obviously talking about Godfall. Now, the trailer really did not do justice. It kind of actually even disappointed me in some ways, just solely because of the trailer. But the music is just not a good choice with that trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's cool to listen to it, right? But it just doesn't suit the vibe of this trailer. No, they should have went with something else. But the gameplay alone, let's talk about that. Like, the gameplay, personally, for me, has a vibes from Dark Souls, but faster in style. And I'm down for that. What about you?
Yeah, I see the inspiration from Dark Souls, and I also thought it looks a bit like Warframe as well, but obviously it's got much better graphics. And to me personally, so far from what I've seen of the gameplay, it looks solid. So that's definitely one of the games I'm gonna try and pick up as soon as possible when that releases, because to me that's screaming everything that I like. You know, I love swordplay games and getting the hard hitting melee weapons and stuff. That's for me. And I feel Godfall is definitely going to be a very good game, hopefully.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to that game as well. I've been looking forward to that game since the first time it's been announced. I think it was at the Game Awards show in 2019. Man, it's so long ago, hasn't it? It's been so long. Wow, 6-7 months. Wow. And anyway, I know it's everything been, heavily edited in that trailer. Or a bit of glimpses of gameplay has been showcased, but it ran super well. Like, I gotta admit, like, I'm sure it's been edited, but still.
Yeah.
Damn. So, I assume that you like the next game I'm about to mention, Hitman 3.
Yes.
What do you think?
I actually haven't been playing the recent ones, but Hitman is one of those old franchises I used to play a lot on the PlayStation 2. And to see Hitman is still going on this strong. And if you think about it, Hitman is a very basic game. If you like look at the gameplay, it's very basic, but it's still running strong. Very happy to see that. And can't wait to see more. I don't think there's really much to talk about, because I think the company who makes Hitman games knows what the community wants, and they're going to give us more of that and give us a new story as well. So yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Because, like, unfortunately, I can't really relate with you regarding Hitman, because I did play, I believe it was Hitman 1, because it was on a PlayStation Plus, like a monthly free game. I believe, I might be wrong about that though. But yes, I've tried it. I just couldn't really get into it. I don't know why that is. Maybe at that time I was not willing to learn or to understand. I definitely need to give it a shot and give it a second chance and try again.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. Yeah, that's completely understandable, because I know people that I know personally, like, they're not really into Hitman either. But I would also say Hitman has its niche audience as well at this point.
Absolutely.
Like it's not one of the biggest franchises out there anymore, and I think the developers know that now. So really, they try to cater the franchise to the community at this point. So yeah, 100% I can understand that. Yeah.
There's two things I want to mention about Hitman 3. It's going to be the last Hitman game coming from them. They even said it's a trilogy, like finishing it up. And lastly, I really love Hitman movies. Not the very recent one though. I think that was like Agent something. I can't remember exactly.
Agent 47. Yeah.
Is that the one?
I've seen both of them, and I will still say the first one was better.
Oh yeah, the first one was awesome. I absolutely
Even though
love that one.
got pants. But see, the thing is with video game movies, I don't take them too seriously, because it's a video game movie. I feel when it comes down to video game movies, the one that I have been disappointed with was Assassin's Creed. But other than that, yeah, I actually do enjoy video game films. It's like a cheesy, turn your brain off and just...
Exactly. I have the same feelings about that too as well, dude. Yeah, I completely agree with you there. How about we go to I don't want to say a bigger game, but it is. I'm talking about Demon Souls. Man, oh man, if you know me, I am giant fan of From Software games. Yet, even though it's been developed by the Bluepoint games, they are fantastic at remaking games since they've done Shadow of Colossus. And I think they've done also the Uncharted Collection series, right? The collection games. I believe they've done that too.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes, but Demon's Souls is the only Souls game I did not play like ever. And I never had it on my PlayStation 3. But
Same.
But I'm such a fan of these games from Software that they create, and in general, Souls-like games. I go ahead and try to get a Platinum Trophy on all of them. I got it already for Sekiro, already got it for Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, 2, 1, the remastered because it's obviously on PlayStation 4. I've gotten all those Platinums. And yes, oh yes, Demon's Souls, you're about to be platinum.
Yeah.
I'm such a sucker for these sort of games, like the Surge 1, the Surge 2, Neo 2, all that stuff has been platinumed out from me. Great English. From me, it's like I think I'm an addict.
Yeah, I hear you.
What about you? Like, are you interested about the Demon's Souls? Do you have any keen interest, perhaps?
Like, I remember I had the first Dark Souls when I had my first PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And it was hard as fuck, but I've always liked that. I haven't really gotten back into Dark Souls. I really want to. But the Dark Souls brand has always been one of those games that is good at kicking players' asses. And it has a fantastic community. And to see that they're bringing back Demon's Souls, which is also the one I haven't played, I do want to pick this one up. Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talking about Demon's Souls and From Software in general, their games and stuff, there has been some rumors and maybe some leaks as well. It's more like rumors, to be honest, but there has been talks regarding Bloodborne
2
remastered.
Oh.
Remastered 2. No, everyone says about the 2, dude. Everyone's talking about the sequel, and it's never happening for some reason. God damn it, it's disappointing, obviously, but people were expecting to see Elden Ring as well. But yeah, they never made that appearance, unfortunately. It's been already more than a year now since the Elden Ring last show. But Bloodborne 2, a lot of people want it. I want it, definitely. But there's been even heavier talks regarding Bloodborne Remastered. It was supposed to be coming on PlayStation 5. And of course, that didn't come to fruition, but still, maybe it'll come. I don't know. I'm just hoping for something related with Bloodborne. I don't care if it's a sequel. I don't care if it's a remaster. Please give me something.
Yeah, but wasn't Bloodborne praised? And I heard it sold pretty well, so I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, I'm very surprised we haven't had a sequel. But if there's a remaster, then definitely, I think people are gonna have a lot of fun with that for the time. And maybe just for the remaster, it's like the taster or the appetizer before we get a sequel. So yeah, I do feel we might get a sequel soon, but hopefully, but I don't think they're ready to do it now yet.
Exactly, like I mentioned, because the Elden Ring, they're in development with that. A lot of people thought and think still that it will be coming out this year. If you know From Software developers, they never like to release their games at the end of the year. They always like to release their games actually in the early of the year. So yes, you can expect Elden Ring early 2021. Well, next up is another disappointment. I'm talking about Deathloop. It's it's again, it's been showcased with its cinematic trailer back in the Bethesda's E3. I didn't really think of it too much back then, and now it's kind of only got me more disappointed. It's actually going to be a time exclusive also for the PlayStation 5, if you did not know. Perhaps maybe a year. We don't know, of course, but it just looks like Reach 2, shooting, some kind of abilities, and that's really it. More shooting. What the hell is going on with Bethesda? I don't get it. But I know it's not Bethesda who's creating it, even though they're kind of concentrating on their, what's it called? Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Man, it's been a long time since I covered any news regarding those two games. What's happening? We don't know.
I feel with Deathloop, I feel the same way. Like I haven't seen enough, and it was like small snippets of little bits of gameplay, but the gunplay didn't look all that interesting to me. But and it's also another game that's doing the whole like the loop in time, and you need to break the cycle.
Yeah.
I think that might be the next big thing in games. Like, oh, this character's stuck in the cycle, you have to break it to complete the story. But yeah, I agree. There wasn't anything interesting about it when I looked at it. But yeah.
Yeah. You actually touched on about this video game almost at the beginning of this commentary. You're mentioning it horror-based games. I think you know what I'm going to be getting at next. Resident Evil Village, or I should say Resident Evil 8. Well, they don't want to call it as an 8, but it is going to be 8, title in the series. That's why they called it an 8, even though it's not. It's just basically Resident Evil Village. What do you think about it?
I've actually got Resident Evil, the recent one, not the remaster. I've got it. I still haven't played it. I feel, from what I've seen and how much praise the most recent one got, I am not surprised. But I feel they're going in a better direction when it comes down to the franchise, because like before the recent one, the quality for Resident Evil games dropped significantly. And from what I saw of the trailer, it looks like they're really trying to be scary now instead of an action-based franchise.
Yeah.
I think I need to see more. But from what I've heard of the recent installment and the remasters, well, besides Nemesis, so far it's been good, really.
Yeah.
And it's good to see like a franchise that's over 20 years old is still kicking along. So yeah,
that's good indeed, because like if you know or you don't know, basically Resident Evil 7 and pretty much what happens after that is going to be Resident Evil Village. So yes, Ethan, you're playing as the main protagonist, is coming back. Chris Redfield, he's gonna be there too, and he looks so much better here. I personally think he looks like a badass. It seems like every time we ever see Chris, he's getting, beefier. I think he's been hitting the gyms while the coronavirus was in the, at home obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right about the ones like Resident Evil 6 was like a clusterfuck, for real. Remember with the action-packed and stuff that's been happening, is a major. The game was such a bollocks.
yeah. I feel they were trying to copy the films. I think. Yeah, I feel like the Resident Evil films, I liked the ones up to 3, and then past then it went batshit insane. But yeah, it's good to see that they are still sticking to back to basics. This is a horror game. You are not a badass. You are trying to survive the situation that you are in. And that's what I like to see.
Absolutely. Very grounded gameplay and realism. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Now, also, personally for me, in the movies categories of the Resident Evil games, I actually like up to the part of the afterlife. It's the one where Alice basically was, flying in a plane and landing on top of the roof and in the prison.
Yeah, and there was that big guy with the axe.
Ooh, with the axe. Now that was sick. I love that. And the music. Ooh, I love the music. The best. I actually was making a big video out of the Resident Evil, and I was mentioning a lot of that movie too, and I've taken a lot of musics too for the big video of mine, and I was just like kind of nostalgia in a lot of ways. It's just fantastic in my personal opinion. Man. Anyway, so next game was trippy, was weird, but it's kind of interesting. Is Pragmata. It's coming in 2022. It's about a guy in a spacesuit with a girl, but maybe she was a
holographic cat.
Yeah, it looks very weird. But the girl is a robot, maybe a droid. Remember her eyes were like, it was weird. It was so trippy. Like they were on the moon the next minute. Yeah, at first I thought it was like, wait, is this a Hideo Kojima game?
Yeah,
Is this
that's what I thought when I looked at the graphics, because you can
Decima
tell.
engine.
Yeah,
It has a
like
Decima engine.
Yeah, because you
Seems
can
like,
tell
yeah.
how when a game is Japanese or made by a Japanese company,
Yeah.
by looking at the graphics, because
Yeah,
like the
that's
hair
true.
sometimes a bit over exaggerated, or the eyes are. Yeah, and I was like, hold on a minute, is this being made by like Hideo
Japanese.
or by a Japanese company?
Mhm.
And so far from what I've seen, it looks beautiful.
Very.
It looks very beautiful. So I think I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on this one. But we need some gameplay.
Yeah, that's the problem. That was just a cinematic. And the announcement, why the hell would you announce this super early? Like, you know, I'm getting irritated with this. And don't get me wrong, right? I'm still looking forward to the games that will be coming out in long years to come, right? And I personally think it's still a big mistake, revealing these games, and yet they're nowhere close to be released. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In 2000, the game's coming out 2022. We don't know. It may even get delayed now to 2023. Who the hell knows? They probably don't even know. Depends, of course, on the situation and the development in the game. So hopefully, it's not gonna be too many issues on that part. But damn, cinematic, okay, that's fine. But could you have shown this cinematic trailer maybe a year after? You know, maybe that would have been a better choice. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel the same when it comes down to game developers and publishers. Like showing off a game that's probably still in pre-production. You know, I think it's just a waste of time. Like show your game off when you've pretty much got most of it finished and you're ready to show off gameplay. That's how I personally feel, because you could lose players, like you can lose fans if the game takes too long to be released. You need to like release the game, or show off the game when the game's near enough ready and everyone's hyped and ready to pre-order it. Because I've had people come to me like have stated like, yo, do you think Cyberpunk's gonna be good? I'm like, yeah, of course it is. But my friend told me I don't know if I'm gonna buy it because it's taken so long and I kind of just forgot about it. And I'm telling him like, yo, it's gonna be good, fam. Like, it's CD Projekt Red, it's gonna be good. But I understand how people feel when games get released so far away from its release, they just end up forgetting about it.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You just mentioned something regarding like a lot of people could lose interest if you announce a game too early.
Yeah.
You might be a little bit wrong about that, because I think you know what I'm about to say. Cyberpunk 2077 first was revealed in 2012.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's only coming out 8 years later. No big deal.
That's the baddest thing, because I liked the first trailer and I loved
it too. Loved it too.
Yeah.
Loved it.
It's like loads of people were like, oh, what is this? Like, we don't know what it is. And then obviously The Witcher came out, and then obviously they're working on Cyberpunk, and now loads of people are just mad excited to play it, like me, fam. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they want to do the same thing again, you know? Reveal the game super early. Oh my god.
I hope it comes out on the PlayStation 5. I hope it does. Because I don't want to buy it on the PS4. I want it on the PS5, innit? Because I want to see the best graphics. That man's got the new 4K TV that can run Dolby Vision and that. I want to play it on that, fam. And I hope it comes out on PlayStation 5. But I am mad excited for that game, man.
Of course, guys, we will get to the PlayStation 5. Just there's only one more game that we needed to talk about right before the PlayStation 5. The last game that we have seen, right? It's a big one, very big one, a PlayStation exclusive, Horizon 2, Forbidden West.
No! Okay, and the reason I said no, we ain't getting another Killzone game. I had to get it in there. We are not getting another Killzone game. Because Horizon Zero Dawn, I haven't played it, and that's a lie actually. I have played it for a brief moment. They were doing a I'm not sure if you have it where you're at, but we have a store called Game, And
yeah.
every once in a while, like a member of a company will bring in like a console, and you can play the new game for a little moment in the store. And that's where I played Horizon Zero Dawn. It isn't bad. I just haven't had the interest in playing it. But knowing it was critically praised, it was obvious we were going to get a sequel. Obvious.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Could you tell the fans as well regarding your love with the Killzone, so they're understanding about that?
Killzone is my favorite first-person shooter franchise of all time. It's not the best, especially how it was being promoted as the Halo killer. I think that was the dumbest mistake Guerrilla Games and Sony could have ever done. Halo is better than Killzone. And I'll be real. Halo is on a different level to Killzone. The reason I love Killzone is because of the gameplay and the PvP, but it never sold well. I have to state facts. It has never sold well. It was not. I feel it should have been competing with like Battlefield, because it's more on the lines of Battlefield. It's heavy, you have to. It's more like a rock, paper, scissors than who's shooting first, and it just had that war feeling in the PvP, especially in Killzone 2, where you had tanks, a big map. That's how it was. But after Killzone Shadowfall, which I feel was the weakest entry in the franchise, but it's probably the best looking games I have ever seen, and it still holds up to this day, surprisingly. After Horizon Zero Dawn came out, it was obvious we are not getting another Killzone game. And I feel I'm ready to let it go now. I'm ready to let it go now and try out the Horizon Zero Dawn franchise. I swear it came out on PlayStation Plus at one point. Or was it the DLC? Like the standalone?
No, yeah, actually, I don't believe it ever did, to be honest with you. Horizon Zero Dawn, it came out in 2016, I believe so.
Yeah. Well, I do have something on my other account that is Horizon Zero Dawn based, so I think I'm gonna download it and play it.
It might be a standalone DLC, actually. That Frozen Wilds is called.
I think that was the one. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Well, now we get to the biggest topic of them all, so to say. You know what I'm talking about? The console?
PlayStation 5.
Remember the moment when you were watching the event and you're waiting at the end after Horizon Zero Dawn 2 and you're like, wait, are they gonna do it?
I'm looking at like these nano machines and stuff. I was like, wait a minute, is this the PlayStation 5? Like, if it's gonna look like some nano machine stuff out of like Transformers Age of Extinction, I'm like, oh, that's different. And then they move to the sides, and then you finally see.
And the music,
console.
The music was so dope with that. It kind of like the suspense was killing me, man.
Yeah.
But yet also the balls and stuff that was like moving around and stuff. I actually thought that the console would be submerging out of it. Like that's what I thought. But I guess they never did. But yet the way they represented this, like you mentioned as well, like they split it apart with the effects, and then the whole thing went dark, and the sides were kind of lighting blue. And then slowly but surely kind of has a, like a V, right? V signifies as a 5. And that makes complete sense why they did this. And then when they showed off this...
I didn't notice that. That good eye.
Yeah, definitely. It's just that the way they showed it off after that, and they showed the beautiful console. Oh, I love this white outer shelf. I like kind of covering the inner of the black console itself. Kind of looks like that. It's just so unique, and it looks like a building from the Eastern Asia. It's one of the tallest buildings anyway, and also has a kind of a bat ears on the top. If you take a closer look at that. I actually made a video all about that as well. Like they must have taken that sort of the inspiration like Sony did. I'm not too sure, of course. But what do you think about the whole design and like the PlayStation 5 console look?
At first, I didn't like it, but I do now. At first, because I was thinking, hold on, is that my Wi-Fi box? That's what I thought. It's like, it looks like a Wi-Fi box. But when I started looking at it more, I really started digging it. I love the color, and they really, this time round, I feel they wanted to come out of the comfort zone, which I really respect Sony for doing. That they came out the comfort zone when it came to the design. Because if we think about it, all of the PlayStations have looked like boxes besides the PS3, which looked like a coffin, in my opinion, the first one. I really like it. And it looks like a lot of people I've noticed have spoken about this. But if you look at the controller compared to the console, we don't know if it's actually going to be like that, like size-wise. Maybe they could have like pushed the console a bit forward and the controls a bit back. We don't know. But it looks like it's going to be big. And
it will be. I actually have the size too.
Oh, you do?
No. But it's not official. There has been a lot of comparisons between the rest of the consoles. We can actually measure it from the CD tray. They're all pretty much the same on all of the consoles. This console, that height, is going to be the tallest console ever. Even taller than PlayStation 3 original, the fat ones. Remember that? Remember those ones? They're giant. Okay, let me give you a comparison. If you know PlayStation 4 Pro height, if you make it standing when it stands, right? Your PlayStation 4 Pro as an example, it's about 30 centimeters height.
Okay.
That's the height. But PlayStation 5 is somewhere 40 centimeters height.
Okay, but that's understandable because of like the tech
It's a
that's
big
going
boy.
to be in it.
It's a big boy. But I didn't tell you about the the weight. Weight. Actually, I don't know the weight. That would be ridiculous for me to assume something like that. And it has to be somewhat heavy, right? You gotta admit that.
Absolutely.
But to be honest with you, I don't give a shit about these things like weight, the size, the how tall or small it is. I don't care. You know what? What I care a little bit more than that, a little bit more, is the look of the bloody thing, and it looks sexy. It looks gorgeous. But what's more important is the fucking fan noise.
Yeah. But I'm glad you spoke about this. From what I've heard, there's a cooling unit inside of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, with the size of that thing, definitely.
Like,
it has to, man.
I've had 2 PS4 Pros, and I got the first PS4 Pro the day it was released, and about a year later, it sounded like a jet.
What about now, your newest PlayStation 4 Pro?
Oh no, actually, if you didn't know, there was actually 2 versions of the PS4 Pro.
Oh yeah, I did.
That
I
Sony,
did know that, yeah.
that Sony didn't actually come out and state that it's actually quieter than the original Pro. I saw that on IGN a few years back, and I was like, oh shit! So if I get a new Pro, this one's going to be much quieter, which it is, and the socket where you get the power cable is actually smaller compared to the original Pro. And to know what we're going to get a cooling unit, and it's going to be standing up vertically as well. Vertical, having the console vertical is much more practical because the air goes up instead of it being horizontal. The hot air goes to the top of the console and then leaves the vents on the sides, which isn't as practical because it does overheat the console a bit more.
Well, the thing is that depends on the equipment and the way they have done it inside, the way they have the engineering has been done. So we can't exactly comment on, we can't exactly say things like such on the PlayStation 5 front, of course. But did you know that you can actually take this PlayStation 5 console and put it horizontally too?
Oh, okay.
It's true. So yes, remember there's a CD tray on the right side?
Yep.
This CD tray will be on below. Do you understand? It's going to be under. Yes. So, by the way, but I believe you will still need to have some kind of stand underneath because you will not be able to place it properly on the ground. And but I personally do not believe we will get the stand that we have noticed from the PlayStation 5, the reveal. Remember, there was some kind of black stand right underneath the PlayStation?
Yep.
I don't believe we will get that. I think it might be an optional purchase. I think. Don't quote me on this, but I just think.
Yeah.
We have to talk a little bit about this, but there's 2. There's 2 PlayStations. One is digital.
Smart move. Smart.
Yes. Absolutely. There's a normal one and of course the digital edition. Which one would you go for?
I'd go with one with the disc, because I do buy physical and digital. So
Me
yeah,
too.
but I understand there are some people who just buy their games online. Actually, my friend who I just spoke to before this commentary, like, yeah, he told me he's getting the digital because he never brings discs. Smart, and I think I feel
Definitely.
especially with how consoles come out, when they first come out, the companies don't actually make a lot of money when the console first comes out. I think taking out the disc tray can mitigate that, because
True.
like the technology, like I found out about this with the PS4, because the technology was expensive, and I think Sony was making like about $20 from each purchase of the console. I think I'm paraphrasing, but to see that we're getting a digital version, I can definitely see that would increase profits, because having a disc tray does cost money. Not a lot, I don't think, at this point, because everything, you can pretty much get a disc tray on almost anything now, like a TV, PC, laptop, consoles.
The thing is, that's not a normal disc tray. I'm sure you know this, but
Yes,
it's a 4K Blu-ray, like a disc tray. Like it's one of those.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. They will be a lot higher end. So because of this, we have to think about this, right? We have to understand this may be up to, I don't know, 50, maybe even 100 euros extra, or pounds in your case, right? So what will be the price differentials? Like, you know, will it be $500 for the all digital, or will it be 600 for the, well, it's not or, but and 600 for the, you know, with the disc tray?
I feel it's obvious this is going to be more expensive than the PS4 at release. If they
I believe
did
too.
350 again, I would be very surprised. But I would say about 400 to about 550 pounds.
Pounds,
Yeah, that's where my guess is, around 400 to 550. If it goes a bit higher than that, that's asking for a lot of money, and that's
Indeed.
going back to the
PlayStation 3
notorious-
era.
Yeah, the notorious PlayStation 3 price, where I don't think Sony want to do, but they have stated that they're waiting for Xbox to reveal the price. And
Indeed.
I don't know, Xbox can be ballsy as fuck and say 350, and if they did that, I don't think that's gonna happen, but if they did that, I would be very surprised. But I'd say about £500 in the middle for me, around there.
Damn.
But yeah, I can't wait to get this PS5. Sorry, man, can't.
We're so used to saying PS4, you know, because
It
it's been 7 years.
it is. I can't wait, because like finally we've got a new generation. We're getting closer to CGI graphics. I hope I live to see that. Like, I hope I do, because I would love to see games that look like CGI trailers, like pure gameplay. Where
Yeah, like the CGI we see now, like for
Like-
what was that game called again? The Pragmata. Remember the one with the space suit and stuff, like
Yeah.
that, just like that.
yeah, or
Ooh,
like there's
beautiful.
also one of my favorite CGI trailers of all time, Assassin's Creed Revelations, and you see the E3 trailer. I want graphics to look like that.
Oh, is that
day.
the one where he was fighting all the
Soldiers.
Templars?
Yeah.
and
By the
then
way, that's my
he's
next review coming tomorrow. Stay tuned.
Revelations.
Yeah, Revelations. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! I'll tune in definitely. It's the one that his hidden blade gets
Broken. Yeah.
broken, and then he's about to sentenced to death on the top of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love that trailer, man. Loved it.
And the song Wood Kid Iron.
Oh,
Fantastic.
yes.
Well, perfect for soundtrack.
Oh man. That's I love that game, man. Like it's perhaps my top 2 or top 3 even of all my Assassin's Creed games. Like being
Same. It's my second favorite. It is my second because of the story.
your first one is
Assassin's Creed 2.
2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hopefully they do a remake of Assassin's Creed 2 with like the RPG mechanics and better graphics. Come on, Ubisoft, I will pay for that. Trust me, if they did like Odyssey or Valhalla gameplay, in AC2, I'm never coming off that game, fam. Never.
And that's including the RPGs as well?
Yes.
Elements?
If they did that, perfect. Perfect. Because I love the RPG mechanics in Assassin's Creed. I love it. Love it, man. But yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, the graphics though for PlayStation 5 so far is looking very promising. Obviously,
Indeed.
at the moment, we're still in the early days where it's still like, it looks like previous gen graphics because it's still new. You know, like when PS4 came out, you could still see like the jagged edges on things. Because you remember like on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 getting like a circle, you used to see like the jaggies on the textures. But I feel with this generation, we're just getting closer to CGI. And even in that the Unreal Engine video, you seen that one?
Yeah, absolutely. I have.
Yeah, we're getting closer.
It looked good. It looked good too, actually. Unfortunately, it's not actually a game, right? It's just a representation of the engine, what it's capable of.
Yeah.
But still, a lot of people, yeah, even myself included, man, come on, make a game out of it.
Innit? That's what I thought, though. Like, I thought until someone in the comments said that this isn't actually a game. And I was like, oh, snap. Because it looks cool, like having all the superpowers and that. But yeah.
Yeah, first you think it's like a Lara Croft sort of a kind of experience of a game, and then it goes to superpowers and shit.
Innit? That's what
around.
I thought. Like, it's some, like, magical Tomb Raider. But it's good.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, interesting. I definitely wanted to touch on this since you have been a big fan of this game for a long time. Unfortunately, you and we kind of dropped off from this particular game, and I'm talking about Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And as of recently, I think it was this week, in fact, right? Tuesday, yeah. There has been a very big live stream from Bungie. Showcasing very big things anyway, and the future of Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And mind you, yes, it's going to be Destiny 2. There's no Destiny 3, at least not in the cards yet.
Thank God.
Yeah, indeed. And the next expansion coming in September, I think was like 22nd, right?
Yeah.
Beyond Light. And are you at least somewhat interested in this, expansion? Are you gonna be getting it, or?
I will be getting it. I'm going to give Destiny another chance because people have been praising it. But there was actually a downside to this live stream. They have confirmed they are going to be taking out content and replacing it with some old content, like Vault of Glass is coming back. It's obviously going to get remastered and they're going to touch up the gear, but they did confirm some of the less played content is going to be removed from the game. Luke Smith called it like it's going in the vault, like Warframe.
I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing though, because
me neither, because there's a lot of content in Destiny I have no interest in playing.
That's true. It's a similar thing for me as well, because the content wise, if they remove it, it's not a big deal, at least not for me. But it's also been said why this has been the case and why this has been taken this, with this direction. Why? It's because the game is getting so big with the file size. Remember, it's above like 100 gigabytes already, easily. As it goes even further than that.
And plus, what goes on in the game takes up a lot of processing power at the same time.
Exactly. And then these updates come out, that's just only increasing the size. And it's getting ridiculous for Bungie. They even said it themselves that the only things, because there's so much stuff that's going into this game, they have to fix these tweaks and that they have to do with the game and everything like that, and the bugs issues as well that they have to resolve. And it's not much in the creative vision that they could be concentrating. The rest of the things that they do is simply fixing the damn thing. This is why they're going to be removing and replacing some of the stuff. And again, I don't think, it's not a bad thing. Like I said, Vault of Glass coming and making a return, that's a fantastic news in a lot of people's eyes. Yours as well.
It's my favorite raid in any Destiny game so far. The raid is fantastic. The gear, I love the gear. I love the armor. I love the weapons. To see that's coming back, yeah, I have got to come back and play it. I'd say fuck all the other raids. I just play Vault of Glass all the time because Vault of Glass is a classic when it came down to the raids in Destiny 2. And to know we're not getting a Destiny 3, because that's what was holding me back. Like I mentioned this to you, like that's what was holding me back from playing it again, because I kept thinking we're gonna get Destiny 2 or 3, sorry, next year. Didn't happen, and Bungie came out and confirmed we're not leaving Destiny 2 anytime soon, so you can relax. If there are people who are thinking about coming back and had the same mindset as me, they put us at ease, and we can finally just play the game without thinking about Destiny 3 anytime soon. So it's good to see that that's happening. They confirmed that we're getting 3 big expansions. So there's Light, Beyond Light, then there's the Witch Queen.
The Witch Queen, yeah.
And then
the Lightfall.
Yeah, and I think with Lightfall, I think they're going to explore the enemies in the Black Pyramids. And it's finally good to see that they're finally like explaining about that, because a lot of people did not notice. And I've also mentioned this, like the Black Pyramids have been hinted at since day one of Destiny 1. And they didn't talk about it in game, but it's in the concept art when you're installing Destiny 1. And it's good to see we're finally getting to see it. They look cool as fuck. The Monte Carlo is in Destiny 2, which is my favorite exotic. And yeah, like it's a good time to be a Destiny player, man.
It really is. It really is, because like a lot of people, when I have been talking about this, making videos, a lot of people saying, "Well, Destiny 2, blah blah," you know, like RIP and stuff like that. Like, just it's cool to hate on Destiny because why not? Like a lot of people like to do this, like especially exactly. And like for me, I'm looking at this, I can see the improvements. I can see the game is no longer bad. How can you keep on, bashing it?
And that's why I stopped criticizing it at this point, because it's like I'll just wait, because like I wasn't happy when Destiny 2 was released. I was not happy at all.
Me too.
And now they've finally listened. I can finally put my mind at ease. They fixed up the game. They fixed up like the cosmetics. They even took out loot boxes out of the store, fam. They took the loot. Do you know, like, bro? I don't know no company who's willing to do that. Well, besides like DE, but like because they had some sort of loot box in there and they took it out years before I came to Warframe. But like Bungie's done it, and it's good to finally see. Okay, you're willing to play fair with the microtransactions, which is very respectable, and it's good to see like. It was Activision,
exactly.
Like because like what they're showing is like, okay, I understand now. It wasn't you. It was Activision doing it, and I feel Bungie are saying the right things. They're doing the right things. If people don't like Destiny, I'd say like, yo, if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But if you're still considering playing Destiny, give it a try. You can play it for free. Or there's even a free to play version of it. Yeah, go play that. And if you don't like it, fair enough. And if you do, stick around. You got time to play Destiny 2, innit? So it's actually, my fans are going to be very surprised I'm saying this, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be very surprised because some of them know me from like constantly talking bad stuff about Destiny, and now I'm praising it. They're going to be like, yo, this is mad.
I mean, it deserves it.
Innit?
I mean, it deserves it. The praise, like, it definitely deserves it. In my opinion, it definitely does. In your opinion, too. This is the great direction for Bungie to be going with. Even though, it definitely is much harder now for them, because they lost 2 studios from the Activision to be creating Destiny and the content-wise. Since they've been, developing these seasonal content, right? Mm-hmm. Man, they're just been lackluster. I personally think. I don't think they're very good. The only time to be playing Destiny is when these expansions release.
Mm-hmm.
not the season passes or seasonal content. They're not really passes, but yeah. Actually, they are seasonal passes. If you think about that. Oh god, they gotta stop with that.
Like at this point, like loads of game companies do it to keep the attention of the player base, because you know, games
to keep it
like,
running, yeah.
In it, like, because games like Destiny, Warframe, Division, or even Anthem, they go through content droughts. Like it's unavoidable. You will always go through a content drought, and the seasonal events are there to basically be like, okay, we're working on the big expansion, but in the meantime, we've got timed events for you to collect stuff that you might want to get, and if you don't, play something else. So exactly. And
Bungie already just made it sure that we all knew what's going to be in store for us all in the future, and that's excellent. That's good. It only incentivizes a lot of people to continue playing the game and even coming back to the game. That's fantastic in my opinion. But I have mentioned this to you already, but after all of these expansions, like the Lightfall, the last one coming in 2022, my god, it's gonna be a long time. But in 2023, I'm kind of expecting Destiny 3.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, yeah.
But you know what?
I think they have to, because like they still use the engine that they used for Destiny 1, and you remember how they explained it took
so many
hours,
difficulties.
Yeah, to just render the game. So like I feel with Destiny 3, I think it would be a time where you've got a new engine that's much easier to use. You've got the full power of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X on your side. You could finally like go for the powerhouse. But yeah,
definitely. And it's already been confirmed that the Destiny is going to be making a turn towards the PlayStation 5 and Series X, and on top of that, it will be supporting 4K. Well, that's already understandable. But the most important thing, 60 FPS.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Fine.
And you know what's the best thing as well, because Destiny, if you've been playing it recently, the loading times are absolutely atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
The loading times. But the SSD is going to be so good in here, because we wouldn't even have to experience these stupid damn loading times. Oh, thank you. Man. No, there's just so many good things that's been done with this reveal, especially from Bungie. It's a very good move from them. Very good move.
Alright. So let's talk about the console war now.
Okay, sure. Well, after that we have yet another topic I got in store. But yeah, what you got in mind about the console wars?
So I think it's safe to say PlayStation 1, the PS4 generation.
Agreed.
And this generation coming up, I hope there's actual competition. Like
actual, yes.
Yeah, I want it to be like 50-50, beefing.
Not exactly. There's been already talks regarding that Xbox is not exactly... well, it's not exactly talks, it's even confirmed at this point. Xbox is not exactly... Microsoft is not exactly concentrating on the Series X. That it will be like a system seller and stuff like that. They kind of are expecting it to underperform in some ways, right? That's not good news.
Yeah.
If we want a competition specifically. Yeah. PlayStation 5, I still think is going to surpass it by a lot compared to a Series X.
Yeah, because Sony want to like say like, yo, we got a new console. We want you to buy the new console games, and that makes absolute sense in my opinion.
Yes,
absolute sense on both sides. Where Xbox wants to give a gradual transition for people who don't want to buy the console like straight up and they want to take their time. That's fine. And then you've got Sony who want to be like, yo, we've got a new console. We want to use the full power of it right now, and that also makes sense. So I think, as you said, Sony, I do think are definitely going to be ahead for the first quarter of the generation because of that. And I feel Xbox needs to increase the quality of their exclusives, because let's be real, Xbox is exclusives this generation have been, for the most part, bad. For the most part, and I feel they don't give the companies enough time, or maybe the companies don't have the right vision, or like there's clashing visions, or what they want the game to be, and it just ends up hurting the game, and people don't play them for very long. Like there was Sea of Thieves, you know, there was the Halo that came out, and there's been plenty. I think like the only games that I know that have been bad on Sony's part was like No Man's Sky, but that made a comeback after like a year or two. But I feel quality for exclusives on both sides need to double up, and I want to see great games. Like, bro, I want a reason to buy an Xbox. You know one of them
exactly,
ones? I want a reason to buy an Xbox. Like, I'm not going to buy an Xbox One just to play the Master Chief Collection. I'm not doing it, because that is not worth it. Like, why should I pay hundreds of pounds for a console for 3 games? So I really do want to see Microsoft come with quality this time around. Like, I think exclusive wise, it hasn't even been a competition. It's just been, you have your half-assed exclusives on Xbox, and then you have damn near masterpieces on PlayStation. So yeah, I think Microsoft definitely needs to touch up the exclusives, and I feel if they do that, we might actually have competition.
They need like a system seller, and not one. Exactly. They need quite a few. PlayStation system sellers, I can just name off not just 1 or 2 or 3. Like, well, I don't know, that might be
Spider-Man, Horizon Zero Dawn,
God of War, exactly. You see, like, just like that, simple.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell can we think of on the Xbox side?
Like Halo ain't the same no more. Like, Halo's dropped.
No. Definitely not. That's not a system seller any longer. Gears 5, maybe?
Yeah, but
maybe? Exactly.
I think that's debatable. That's
exactly
debatable. I wouldn't say it's a cut and dry system seller.
I agree, because a system seller is like Breath of the Wild, the Zelda game on Nintendo.
Yeah.
That is a system seller. I even got a goddamn Nintendo Switch just for that game. I seriously got it. Yeah. I played it, finished it, enjoyed the hell out of it. I love it. But Xbox is a completely different story. But also, we have to understand, right? Microsoft even said themselves, all their games that will be coming out on the Xbox Series X as well, you guessed it, they're all going to be available on the rest of the platforms, such as the PC. So why would you get a Series X if you can play the same games on your PC, but a far better, well, that depends of course what kind of PC you have, but far better with the quality. And even though you might have a PC already, right? So what's the point ever getting a Series X if you can play all those games on your PC, you know? It's like...
Yeah, like I never really understood. I think it's because like Microsoft own like Microsoft and that Windows and all of that. I think they tried to like diversify it, but I don't think they should do that. Don't make an exclusive on 2 platforms. Just make it exclusive to yours, because the PC players are gonna be like, okay, you've got this exclusive and I can play it on PC. I still don't need to buy your console, you know?
Exactly, but that, well, we have to consider as well, because this move that Microsoft is doing, even though it's not very good in our opinion, it's also very, very customer friendly.
Yeah.
It's very customer friendly. So we have to kind of, praise that for them, that they're doing in this move, and it actually hurts their sales because of that situation, and it hurts even deeper their sales because Game Pass.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
all the day one games you buy for $5-10, that's it.
Like, what? I feel Game Pass is very pro-consumer, but
extremely.
But it hurts your sales.
Indeed, and I mean, we should not be arguing about this, to be honest with you, right? Like, a lot of people getting this stuff for pretty much for free. Well, a very low amount of pay that they need to buy for, and so I mean, it's all good for them. It's fantastic, but again, I would take PlayStation exclusives any day instead of the Game Pass. I don't care. even though it costs so much more, the exclusive games, right? Brand new exclusive games, but they're so much better.
Yeah.
And so much more, exactly. So many more. Jesus.
Really? It's like even the PlayStation, even the Xbox guys were like, yo, Spider-Man was fantastic. Like, I know people who like just play Xbox and they're like, yo, I want to get a PlayStation 4 for Spider-Man, fam. It's like, yeah, but I can't say the same thing for Xbox. Like, what's on Xbox that's great at this point? So I really do hope, like, come on, Microsoft, like, give your developers time.
Exactly.
And give them the resources that they need to make the best possible gaming experience. That's what needs to be done.
True. That's very, very true. Well, how about we talk about the other topic I wanted to touch on? It's regarding The Last of Us Part 2. And if you guys did not know, the embargo has been lifted. Plenty of other reviewers have been already talking a lot about the game, and they are praising the shit out of this game. It's getting like 50 plus masterpiece scores for this game on their reviews. It's absolutely insane. Now, of course, we cannot, well, you know, if people have gotten a chance playing the game early, they could be very biased towards them too, these sort of games. It's understandable. I think I would have been too, in my personal opinion. Like, I'm biased towards the PlayStation exclusive. Well, that's actually a fact because they are better. Yeah. It's not just being biased because of it. Oh, well, again, that could be biased because a lot of people were telling me, well, what about Nintendo exclusives? And there are a lot of good games out there.
Yeah, like, there's good games on that too. Yeah.
Exactly. But personally for me, I just rather PlayStation exclusives. That's just my opinion.
Same.
And
yeah.
Exactly. So, The Last of Us Part 2. Reviews are getting fantastic reviews. And yes, of course, there are some not so great. Like, there's some people saying, like, because it's so gruesome, it's so violent, it's difficult for me. A lot of people say, like, a lot of reviewers. And so they're giving a lower rating because of that. They cannot stomach it.
That's silly.
That if you're gonna put that sort of thing in review and you mainly talk about that specific thing that you cannot take it.
See, I can't take that type of review seriously, fam. Like even The Last of Us Part 1, like, I didn't like the gameplay, but I loved the story. Like, that's what The Last of Us is about. It's about survival and what are you willing to do to survive. And that it's a whole moral thing. Like, you can't have morals. You've got to do the worst things you possibly thought you would never do to survive.
Exactly. There's no good on evil, right? Yeah. There's no good and evil. It makes sense. It's surviving to the fittest and surviving who's the strongest and stuff like that. And yet, these people, like, especially with the reviews and saying, like, I cannot take this, so I'm giving you an 8 out of 10. Okay, well, actually, to be considering 8 out of 10, it is already a very high number, a very high score.
Yeah, but, like, I feel that type of reasoning is just silly.
But if that's the reason why you give an 8 out of 10, then this just clarifies to say that the game is a far better experience than people give it a credit for.
Exactly. So it's like, even with the leaks, like, I chose not to get involved because it's like, yeah, you might have some woke stuff in there, but let me see what the game is actually like first.
Did you see the leaks? Did you see the leaks?
Yeah, I've seen the leaks, and I'm not going to spoil it on here, but it's like, yeah, I don't like certain things that I've heard, or not heard, that I've seen, but, like, let me see what the actual game is like before I make the full judgment. You know?
Exactly.
It's like when I hear a game about the microtransactions and the loot boxes, like, yeah, that's gonna piss me off because I don't like loot boxes, and it's not fair. Like, I shouldn't have to spend loads of money just to get one item, but I'll still play the game to see what it's like. The Last of Us 2 might be different because of the spoilers, but I'm still like, yo.
It's all about the journey.
And it's like, I'm not like the biggest fan of The Last of Us. Like, I said it before, the gameplay wasn't for me. Like, the gameplay isn't bad, but it's like, I'm not into survival horrors. I'll still see. Like, you know, like, and if it's bad, then I'll just say, yeah, I don't recommend it in that. But I understand where people are coming from, but it's like, yo, you don't have to buy the game. Watch the story. Like, the people like make movies out of the cutscenes, and that you could just watch that and make a judgment for yourself first if you don't trust the reviews. like watch actual gameplay of the story and that. But as of right now, it's like I don't like the wokeness in video games. I say keep your personal politics to yourselves. Like I don't tell people my political beliefs because they don't need to know. You know, like
I don't think anybody cares either.
Like, nobody cares. So it's like if the politics was to progress the story, like Metal Gear Solid. Loads of people who don't know, Metal Gear Solid is actually a very political franchise. Like people think, oh, Solid Snake, the cardboard box, that that's what
oh
people
my
think.
god, yeah.
But like actually deep the story, there's lots of politics in there, but no one talks bad about it because it progresses the story. Like the villain has his political views on the world and he wants to do bad stuff because of this. And you think, rah, that actually kind of makes sense. Because like Metal Gear Solid basically is like Attack on Titan in a way. There is no actual villain. If you think about it, if you deep what people say in the story and you see their beliefs and you understand where they're coming from, it's like, oh, like I get what you're saying, but the way you're doing it is wrong. With The Last of Us, there's no reason for that. Like, real talk, the only time when you would probably get political is if, like, oh, should I kill all of these random survivors and take all their shit, or shouldn't I? Like, that's political. Like, and you have like that type of, these people are just trying to survive as well as I am, but am I willing to take their lives and take their shit for me to survive? That's when it should get political. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. I haven't played the game. I haven't seen the story. I can't make a full judgment on it. So
exactly.
I feel with The Last of Us Part 2, if you don't trust the reviews, watch the gameplay. I think that's
maybe even you should say watch the more credible, more reliable reviewers.
Or that. But I'm talking like if you don't trust anyone, but there are people you can trust. Absolutely.
The issue with that, because you're gonna be spoiled the heck out of it. That's the issue.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm talking about is like the last resort, last resort. But there are credible critics out there who, and I don't trust like the big companies. Like I don't trust the IGNs or the GameSpots or any. I watch content creator reviews.
Angry Joe and stuff.
Yeah, like I watch Angry Joe's, Skill Up, like them guys. Like I watch them because like it's down to earth. It's telling you everything you need to know, very straightforward, and that. I mean, despite Skill Up, like he talks like detailed, comes with analogies in his reviews, which isn't a bad thing, but. That's why I watch. And I feel people, like I still say to this day, you should not be watching like IGN for reviews anymore. Like I think we're past that day and age because I can't trust them with anything. Like these guys gave I think what game was it? It was a long time ago, but they gave positive reviews for games that were bad, and it's like, no, this game is not worth that score, fam. Like relax.
I like the way the IGN gave a review score for Anthem. I think it was 6.8. I think, but for Days Gone, also 6.8.
Yeah, but like Anthem though, I would say like it's above average at best, and that's really it. And I'd say the reason it gets that score is because of the gameplay and the graphics, the beauty. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I got a question for you. It's about The Last of Us Part 2. Are you gonna be picking it up?
Probably, because I have got like the remaster of the first one, so I might as well,
And are you gonna be getting it on day one or?
When does it release?
Next week.
Oh no.
Well, from the recording,
I've got to save money, so I'll probably get it by like early next month.
early next month.
Yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. And again, when we're recording this is the 12th, right? Yes, the 12th.
Yeah.
Yes, Friday the 12th. So yes, it will be out next week on Friday.
Yeah. So I'll definitely wait to see what people are saying, and if it's good, like all round, yeah, I'll pick it up. But either way, even if it is bad, I'll still pick it up. I just want to see what the fuss is all about. But yeah.
Indeed. What about Ghost of Tsushima?
I still have problems pronouncing it.
Tsushima.
It is Ubisoft's wake-up call. It is.
Oh yeah.
We've been begging you for like Edo Japan for Assassin's Creed for years, and Sucker Punch are doing it, and that's exactly what they're giving Ubisoft right now, a sucker punch to the face. Yes.
I like it as well because I made a big video on that. It's just the title.
It is exactly what I wanted out of Assassin's Creed. It is
Indeed. It's the Assassin's Creed we never got.
Get it? So it's like, all right, I'll go play that instead of like another Assassin's Creed. Like Vikings I've always wanted to see, but like there have been time periods I've had no interest in Assassin's Creed, and people have been asking for Edo Japan since the Ezio trilogy. So
what the hell is taking so long, right?
They said it's outdated. They don't want to do it. Like it's been overly done. Like I'm paraphrasing, but they have come out and they stated they had no interest in doing Edo Japan or China. So it's like, all right, if that's how you're gonna be, somebody else is going to do it, and it's going to sell like hotcakes.
But you said outdated. But from what?
That's what I'm saying. Like why? How come it's outdated? Like we've been asking. Like there is a demand for games like samurai and ninja games. There is a demand out there because it's cool. Because
if you really think about it, did anyone actually ask for a Viking game? I mean, back then when there was nothing known about the Vikings of the Assassin's Creed.
No, I feel Vikings got popular because of For Honor.
Because not even. I even say because of the TV shows. The Vikings, the
also,
Last Kingdom.
Very good show. Go watch that.
I watched the Vikings map, so good. But I only watched till season 4, episode 16, I think it was. You know what happens with the main character.
Anyway. I'm not on season 4 yet. I think I'm on season 2. Yeah.
Okay, I'll shut up then. Yeah. I watched to that part. I think you may know why, but you'll make your own decision, and you might understand as well why I made that decision, and I did not continue watching after.
Yeah.
But don't worry. I'm not spoiling anything. And also the Last Kingdom's TV show. It's also about the Vikings and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I personally believe that's the reason why we got this Assassin's Creed Vikings,
Mm-hmm.
Or Valhalla. Sorry, Valhalla.
Yeah. So I really do hope Ghost of Tsushima is good. It looks like it's gonna be good, and hopefully Ubisoft take notes. Like, come on. We've had 11 installments that doesn't include the spin-offs for Assassin's Creed games. It's time for Edo Japan. And Ghost of Tsushima might not be Assassin's Creed. The armor looks cool. The gameplay looks cool. The graphics look amazing. And we're gonna have a great story, which Sucker Punch have been known to make great stories. So, yeah.
Definitely. And also, Ghost of Tsushima is actually coming out next month.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait for that. I got the collector's edition of that though.
Really? Because it's out of stock everywhere, fam. Man can't get the collector's edition nowhere.
I got it on the Amazon Spain, because I live in Spain, so Amazon Spain. So it'll be coming down in front of my doorstep, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it looks good. It looks good. Not just the collector edition in general, but the game itself. Man, the music. Feudal Japan. Come to Papa.
Yeah, so I feel like it's Sucker Punch have taken the opportunity. Now the ball's in their court, and if it's good, people are going to buy it because they like samurais and they like Japan's culture,
Exactly. And you know what's even going to be kind of more dangerous for Ubisoft? If they do end up making a feudal Japan sort of the era of the Assassin's Creed, they will need to be making sure that they will be able to take a similar step as the Ghost of Tsushima or even above that, you know, like with the quality wise, because people will be making comparisons between the Ghost of Tsushima and the,
absolutely.
and I'm one of those people.
Yeah, like absolutely. It's inevitable. If they do make
exactly.
it, Japan, it's going to be compared to Ghosts. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's going to be interesting for me to at least to see. Like, man, they have to make sure that they make even a better game than the Ghost of Tsushima when it does come. Well, comes out in a month, but yeah. But yes, I wanted to ask you, and are you going to be picking up the Ghost of Tsushima? Sorry.
Absolutely.
Day one.
Absolutely, yeah. Day one.
Day one, awesome. So it looks like you were a lot more confident with Ghost of Tsushima
yeah,
than Last of Us Part 2.
It has everything I want to see, what I wanted, and it's perfect. Like, that's the type of game that I like. So, to me, it's swinging the right swings right now, man. So yeah, definitely.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Well, perhaps I don't have any other particular topics, but
we can talk about like other companies like Ubisoft and Activision when it comes down to their games and stuff. Like, we got Valhalla coming. Like, that looks interesting. I feel the gameplay reveal was embarrassing.
Lacking indeed.
Absolutely embarrassing display. Like, I feel
gameplay.
Yeah.
Quotes gameplay. Right.
Yeah,
Xbox. That Xbox.
Like 2 second splits of moments of gameplay with
edited gameplay. That's
right.
And
like edited cutscenes. I feel they missed the mark because you revealed the actual game. Like, yeah, we've got Valhalla coming, and then when you had the Xbox event opportunity, would be like, okay, we've revealed the game. Here's a 10-minute video of gameplay. If they did that, would have been perfect.
It would have been good. It would have been good. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I was disappointed about that whole damn show as well from the Xbox, inside Xbox. Gameplay, and yet there was pretty much no gameplay except that first part of the Brightburn. Or I forgot the name, but anyway.
Then there was that Japanese-looking Titanfall game.
Is that the one that was developed by only one person, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the.
I want to see more of that, bro. Like that needs to be good.
That game is already pretty much out. If you did not know.
What?
That game is already out. It's on PC. Yeah, it's available right now. It's gonna be bigger, obviously, in scope when it does release. Like, I think it's like a sequel. You know, this part will be coming out. It's kind of like a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah, there really is. This game is already out on PC. Seriously.
Oh shit! So maybe I do need to get a better PC.
What's it called? Brightburn, something. I can't remember the name for some reason. But anyway, something. It's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It really is. It's already available.
Mm-hmm.
On PC, you can definitely play it now. It's crazy. There's no driving though, like they showcased it. And
but
what?
Speaking of Ubisoft, the quality of their games has been lacking, I think.
Well, it's not necessarily. They haven't really released any other games except that Breakpoint.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel with Odyssey and Breakpoint. Odyssey isn't as bad as Breakpoint. Odyssey is still very good. But I think that one has flaws compared to, like, Origins. I feel... And even... Actually, Odyssey is going to lead into what I'm going to talk about Valhalla. With Breakpoint, they think because Assassin's Creed Origins sold so well, they could do that with any game franchise that they had under their belt, and it clearly didn't work. And even Ubisoft have confirmed we're getting a new update with the AI teammates, but I think Breakpoint died. Breakpoint is completely dead now.
What about that realism mode that the update came out? You even made a video.
Mode, I think immersive mode is a good feature that they should add to the Ghost Recon franchise. But I think it was too little too late. And plus, not a lot of people were even interested in Breakpoint to begin with. Like, Ghost Recon Wildlands sold well, but not a lot of people actually came back to it. Like, I'd say there was about 50,000 people come, like, the last year of Wildlands. And with Breakpoint, I don't even think there's 50,000 people playing it.
That's true.
I'll be real. I don't think there is, because I think Breakpoint, the story, I think, is what they were trying to sell, which I think was fine. That marketing wise for the story and John Bernthal was fine, but there wasn't any deepness to the story. It felt like your generic Call of Duty type of campaign. There's a bad guy, he's just bad because he wants to be bad. You know, like there's no depth to the villains, and like the character you played as showed no emotion, and there was no soundtrack. like you'd be surprised if you play Breakpoint and you play through the cutscenes. There's no music. Like there's no emotion there. Like there's nothing.
No soul.
Yeah, that is no soul to the story at all. Because I always say, a good story has to have a soundtrack, always, because the soundtrack is what lifts the moment, and there's none of that in Breakpoint. So I feel Breakpoint has died, and I love Ghost Recon, because when they released the game, too many bugs, story was bare bones, and there was looter shooter elements that didn't make sense. Like, bro, this is a Ghost Recon game. Like Ghost Recon is supposed to be that realistic tactical shooter, and it's not in here. So I feel that was just disappointing. And now on to like Odyssey. Odyssey isn't bad. I think they went over the top with the grind.
Fantasy.
Yeah, and that
fantasy too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, the grind and the fantasy based. I think because they tried to like make it into the narrative where you've got corrupted files or corrupted DNA, and that's how come some of the stuff that you see in the story of Origins and Odyssey is fantasy based. So it's not all fully realistic to them in the story. It's what the computer or the animus thinks is real. So I think with Odyssey, they knew Origins sold, and I think they went a little too over the top with it. And I think it's kind of affected Valhalla, because they confirmed it's not as long as Odyssey. I don't think the game was too big. No, like having too much content isn't a problem. It's how you work on the content, or what type of content it is. Is it meaningful content? Is it just like your generic side mission? You know? So I think with Valhalla, I think that they're going about it a little bit in the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with having a lot of content. It's just how you make it. And they've even confirmed that they're not going to do what Odyssey done, like with the whole you need to be this level to do the story.
Yeah.
Like I hated that. I hated that so much. It's like, bro, I think the story, you should play through the story. Doesn't matter what rank you need to be. I think with other content, like, because Origins and Odyssey have endgame content, like they have these missions that reset every week. That's fine. That's where the power level should be the most useful. And I think with Valhalla and Odyssey, Ubisoft understand that, but they're also sacrificing like the amount of content that you get out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Right. It's just that, you know, with the Ubisoft, when they were trying to make this kind of a changes, not necessarily even changes, but like repeating the same steps, because the success of the Odyssey, putting it into the Breakpoint and then realizing the whole thing just went, you know, it bombed literally.
Yeah.
And all their games have been delayed because of that reason alone, and that's a fantastic move, by the way.
Agreed.
I personally exactly. And now Gods and Monsters, Quarantine, and also Watch Dogs Legion are all being pushed back. I'm still looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion 100%. I definitely want to see what's more about it. And since there's going to be a Ubisoft event, or whatever it's called, I believe it was also confirmed, I can't remember, at the end of June or the early of July.
Sometimes. Yeah, I heard the same.
That's right. So we can, expect to see, of course, Watch Dogs Legion in there. I'm a big fan of Watch Dogs games in general. Personally, I really liked Watch Dogs 2 far more than Watch Dogs 1.
I liked both, to be honest.
But still, I did like both of them too because I played them both, and Watch Dogs 2 got a platinum. That Watch Dogs 1, you need to play online. You need to play a lot of online to get a platinum. So it's like, oh my god, no thanks. But yeah, anyway, but Watch Dogs Legion, I hope it's not gonna be like that mindless, senseless, soulless, bloody character that you can actually recruit anytime, whenever you want. You know what I mean? Even though it will be something like that. Basically, you need to do a quest for the specific character that you want to hire. Recruit, and you play as them after.
Yeah.
I hope there's a little bit more meaning behind that. Not just necessarily you go approach this character and you will opt into the quest to do, so you play as him or her or whatever. I don't want that. A little bit more substance, please. It would be nicer. But either way, I'm still looking forward to it. Now, Gods and Monsters, because it's been developed by the same developers that developed the Odyssey, right? And that's may be of a similar step that will be crazy, right? But a little more cartoony in ways. And I personally think that's okay.
Gods and Monsters and Beyond Good and Evil 2. Yeah, that's the thing with Ubisoft. When they go to E3, they show so many games, and some games don't get swept under the rug because some people just don't remember. But yeah, that was one I'm actually kind of interested in.
Skull and Bones as well, if you know about that. It's a pirate.
Yeah, you know what about Skull and Bones?
What's
Before that was in development, Ubisoft made a what's it called? Not a petition, a survey about would you like to see a pirate game, and people said yes, and then Skull and Bones is finally being shown off, and it's like, so that's where that survey came from.
And then you heard about the rest, right? What happened after? Why they delayed it so far?
No, why did they delay it?
It's been very delayed, delayed by 2-3 years, it seems like. Because people, when they have seen the gameplay and, the representation, and people started asking questions, say, wait, so you're just on a ship going back and forth shooting other ships and that's really it? You don't even get off the board or anything like that? It's like, what? Is that all you do? And people started questioning it. It's like, what? That seems so boring. Why would, that's why Ubisoft or the developers, they decided to pull it and continue making the game. Perhaps even having NPCs walking on these sand shore, and you will be there going through properly. I'm not too sure, of course, to what degree, because it's not going to be coming out in 2020. It's not going to be coming out early 2021 as well, by the way. They said, I believe it was April and onwards, that we should be expecting Skull and Bones. And what was the other game called? Damn it. There's Gods and Monsters, right? There's Quarantine. There is Watch Dogs. And there's Good Beyond. That's it. What's it called again? Good Beyond?
No, Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil 2, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Sorry, I just totally forgot the name of it. But Beyond Good and Evil 2, that game is also, projected to be releasing after April of 2021. Again, that's not necessarily to say it's coming in 2021, because it's also possible it could be coming in 2022, in fact.
Yeah, because apparently that's supposed to be No Man's Sky mixed with some combat and stuff, but yeah.
It looks like a giant scope of a game, a very, very ambitious sort of a game that they try to show here. It's incredible. But yet, it's just a question, will they be able to do it?
Hopefully with next gen's power they can. Hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah. And just thinking back on it now, man, I'm just wondering when are these damn games going to be coming out. I assume Watch Dogs... Actually, no, let me say it differently. Valhalla will come out first. Maybe September, October, maybe. After, sometime when the next gen console will be here. Watch Dogs Legion will be here as well. In 2021, we will see Gods and Monsters. We will see Quarantine as well.
Okay.
Well, that's just my, opinion, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good to see that we're getting another Rainbow Six.
Rainbow Six Quarantine, that's right. Well, is there anything else that we could talk about as well?
No, actually, I think we've got pretty much everything.
Well, I do have one last thing to ask you. It's not necessarily like a conversation, but it's more like a question.
Okay.
Basically, PlayStation 5, day one or not?
Absolutely.
And you said as well with the disc tray, right?
With the disc tray. Yeah. I can't wait to get it. The first game I'll probably play is Warframe, if that comes out day one. Yeah.
I'm sure it will come on the next gen as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
Sure of that. Well, we've been at it for quite a while. We're hitting 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Damn.
It's the longest one we had, right?
Yeah, it has been, because there's been so much to talk about this one.
That's good, because next week, well, a little bit longer than that. Cyberpunk stuff will be happening too. Newswire City, I think it was called or something. That's what they named it. It should have been actually happening yesterday, the Cyberpunk thing, but it was delayed. God damn it, that's unfortunate. But now it's coming out a little bit later. Oh well. But well, of course, we do definitely need to make these, podcasts a little bit more often, because it seems like we're making these things annually, literally once a year.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, because we've got plenty of games coming. We've got some more events on the way. So yeah, I'll be down for doing that.
Indeed. And especially with summer and what's everything going on, I mean, in the gaming world, to be specific, there's plenty of extra events will be happening. I was thinking, if we will be both able to do this, maybe at the end of July or maybe even August, when everything will be wrapping up with the events, we could share our own thoughts again. And because Cyberpunk by that time will be here, Ubisoft conference will be done, or whatever it's called, the event. There's will be plenty of other stuff to talk a little bit about too. Maybe we could even get some information regarding the price point of the PlayStation 5 and so was for the Series X, and the release date as well in August. I don't know, of course, it's speculation on my part, but come on, August has to be the month where we find out the the price point. The latest should be September, the very latest.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, any last words? Maybe a plug-in or something?
So my name is Menziah. To all of ZDEyE subscribers, I do commentary. I'm a bit inconsistent, I can't lie, but I talk about video games. At the moment, I've been dropping reviews for video games lately. I've got Assassin's Creed Revelations review coming on the 13th of June. And then next week, I will be starting my reviews on the Prototype franchise. So I'll be doing a review on Prototype 1 and 2 in the next 2 weeks. And come say hello. And man, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you likewise. I will make sure also to leave down in the description the links to Menziah's channel. And of course, I'm not too sure, Menziah, if you're going to be
doing the same thing too. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Just wanted to ask you that, but yeah, it seems like we got this out the way, so it's all good. Well, I guess there's nothing else to mention. I've been ZDEyE here as well. Just perhaps on the Menziah's end, maybe I should do some kind of introduction on my part. Probably should have done it way before at the beginning of this commentary.
Yeah, but you're the host, isn't it? So this is your
that's
platform. Yeah.
Indeed. Well, it seems so, yeah, I guess. But yes, of course. And it's been fun. It's been quite a while. We're about to hit 2 hours mark. But yeah, it was definitely fun. We definitely got to do this more often, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, I guess we'll let you go now in this case. Thank you so much for listening in and tuning into this video. A bit of a podcast, I should even say. ZDEyE will be signing out, and like and subscribe. See you guys all, and Menziah?
Yep, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.
Take care.